There are moments in life when the noise becomes too loud, too many voices, too many expectations, too many people demanding pieces of your soul, until one day you wake up exhausted, not physically, but mentally. And in that silence, you finally ask yourself, what happened to my peace? Because somewhere along the way, you traded your peace for approval. You traded your calm for attention. You traded your happiness for people who never truly cared. And the painful truth is this: most people don't lose themselves all at once. They lose themselves slowly. Conversation after conversation, argument after argument, sacrifice after sacrifice, until they no longer recognize the person staring back at them in the mirror. But listen carefully. Your peace is not weak. Your peace is power. And in a world addicted to chaos, protecting your peace becomes an act of rebellion. So, tonight, this message is for the exhausted souls, the overthinkers, the people who carry silent battles nobody sees, the people who smile in public but fight storms in private. This is your reminder. Protect your peace at all costs, because not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every argument deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. And not every person deserves a seat in your life. Most people are drowning in noise. That's why silence terrifies them. They need constant distraction, constant validation, constant drama. But a peaceful mind, a disciplined mind, a calm soul, that is rare. And rare things must be protected. You see, many people think peace means escaping life. It doesn't. Peace is learning how to remain calm in the middle of chaos. Peace is choosing not to react when someone tries to provoke you. Peace is walking away from conversations that poison your spirit. Peace is understanding that protecting your energy is more important than winning an argument, because some battles are designed to drain you. And the moment you understand that, your life changes forever. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that the greatest form of strength is emotional control, not screaming, not proving yourself, not fighting everyone, but mastering yourself. Because when you cannot control your emotions, other people control your life. And the modern world profits from your distraction. They want your attention, your anger, your insecurity, your fear. Every day, you are surrounded by noise designed to disturb your mind. Social media telling you you're not successful enough. People comparing your journey to theirs. Toxic relationships draining your spirit. Negative conversations poisoning your thoughts. And slowly, your inner peace disappears. Not because life is impossible, but because you gave too many people access to your mind. One of the most dangerous things you can do is allow negative people to live rent-free in your head. Some people leave your life physically, but continue controlling you emotionally. You replay the arguments. You replay the betrayal. You replay the disrespect. Again and again and again. Meanwhile, they moved on, and you remain trapped in a prison of thought. This is why protecting your peace is necessary, not optional. Necessary, because your mind becomes your reality. If your mind is constantly filled with stress, you will suffer even in beautiful moments. But when your mind becomes calm, even difficult seasons become manageable. That is true power. And the strongest people in the world are not always loud. Sometimes, the strongest people are the quietest, the ones who learn when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence is misunderstood. People think silence means weakness, but silence often means wisdom. It means you no longer need to prove yourself. It means you no longer waste energy explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. It means you finally understand this truth. Not every reaction deserves your participation. Some people want access to your peace because they have none themselves, so they create conflict, drama, confusion, emotional chaos. And if you are not careful, they will pull you into storms that were never yours to fight. This is why boundaries matter. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are self-respect. You cannot heal in environments that constantly destroy your spirit. You cannot grow around people who celebrate your weakness but resent your growth. And you cannot become peaceful while surrounded by constant negativity. Sometimes protecting your peace means disappointing people. Sometimes it means saying no. Sometimes it means walking away from people you love. And yes, that hurts, because not every goodbye is easy. Some goodbyes break your heart. But losing yourself trying to save toxic relationships breaks something even deeper: your soul. Never sacrifice your mental health trying to keep everyone happy, because people will ask for pieces of you until nothing remains. And the saddest part? Many people only appreciate your value after your energy disappears. That's why you must learn to protect it before it's too late. You do not owe everyone access to your time. You do not owe everyone explanations. You do not owe everyone your emotional energy. Some people only enter your life to disturb your peace. And wisdom is recognizing them early. Pay attention to how people make you feel. Some people leave you inspired. Others leave you emotionally exhausted. That feeling matters. Your soul recognizes energy before your mind does. Stop ignoring the signs. Stop normalizing disrespect. Stop entertaining people who constantly disturb your peace. Because every moment spent in unnecessary drama is a moment stolen from your growth. And life is too short to spend it constantly emotionally drained. The older you become, the more you realize something important. Peace is more valuable than attention, more valuable than money, more valuable than popularity. Because without peace, nothing else feels meaningful. You can have success and still feel miserable. You can have followers and still feel empty. You can have wealth and still feel broken inside. Inner peace is a real success, and protecting it requires discipline, especially in lonely seasons, because sometimes growth isolates you. Not everyone can come with you to the next version of yourself. Some people only like the version of you that tolerated disrespect, the version that stayed silent while suffering, the version that constantly sacrificed themselves for others. But the moment you start setting boundaries, the moment you choose yourself, the moment you stop begging for validation, people become uncomfortable. Why? Because your growth exposes their lack of growth. Never apologize for evolving. Never apologize for becoming harder to manipulate. Never apologize for protecting your peace. You survive too much to keep destroying yourself for people who don't value you. And understand this clearly. Healing requires distance. Distance from negativity. Distance from noise. Distance from people who constantly disturb your spirit. That's why solitude is powerful, not loneliness. Solitude, there is a difference. Loneliness feels empty. Solitude feels healing. It is in solitude that you hear your true thoughts. It is in solitude that your mind becomes clear again. It is in solitude that you remember who you are beneath the noise of the world. Some of the greatest transformations happen in silence. Quiet mornings, late night reflections, moments where nobody is clapping for you, nobody is watching, nobody is validating you, just you facing yourself honestly. And that honesty changes everything, because eventually you stop chasing external approval. You stop needing everyone to understand you. You stop trying to win every argument. And you begin protecting your inner world like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mind is sacred. Your energy is sacred. Your peace is sacred. Guard it carefully. The world will constantly test your emotional discipline. People will disrespect you. Life will disappoint you. Unexpected pain will arrive. But your power lies in how you respond. Not every situation deserves emotional collapse. Not every setback deserves panic. Sometimes life is simply teaching you detachment, teaching you resilience, teaching you emotional mastery. The Stoics believe that suffering often comes not from events themselves, but from our interpretation of them. Two people can experience the same storm. One becomes bitter, the other becomes wiser. The difference is perspective. This is why mental discipline matters. If you allow every inconvenience to destroy your mood, you'll spend your life emotionally controlled by circumstances. But when you develop inner calm, you become unshakable. Not because life becomes easy, but because you become stronger. And strength is often quiet. Real confidence does not scream. Real confidence remains calm under pressure. Real confidence walks away from chaos. Real confidence protects peace instead of feeding ego. Many people destroy their own peace trying to prove themselves, trying to impress people who secretly don't even care, trying to fit into environments that suffocate their spirit. But freedom begins the moment you stop performing for the world. You were not born to spend your life exhausted, trying to meet everyone's expectations. You were born to live authentically, to live peacefully, to live intentionally. And yes, that may require difficult decisions. You may outgrow friendships. You may distance yourself from family members who constantly disturb your peace. You may lose relationships. But losing toxic attachment is not losing yourself. It is finding yourself again. And one day, you will thank yourself for choosing peace over chaos. Because eventually you realize, a calm life is a beautiful life. Waking up without emotional heaviness, sleeping without anxiety, living without constantly needing validation. That is freedom. And freedom begins internally, not externally. The world may remain chaotic. People may remain negative. Life may remain unpredictable. But your inner world does not have to become a reflection of external chaos. You can choose calm. You can choose silence. You can choose emotional discipline. You can choose peace. Even when others choose drama. Even when others choose negativity. Even when others misunderstand you. Protect your peace anyway. Because peace is expensive. It costs comfort. It costs toxic relationships. It costs people-pleasing. It costs emotional dependency. But it gives you something priceless in return. Yourself. And there is nothing more valuable than becoming whole again. So, if you are tired of overthinking, tired of emotional exhaustion, tired of constantly carrying everyone else's energy, this is your sign to reclaim your life. Start protecting your peace. Turn off the noise. Distance yourself from negativity. Stop explaining yourself to people determined to misunderstand you. Stop abandoning yourself trying to save everyone else. Choose calm. Choose clarity. Choose yourself. And remember this, not everyone will understand your transformation. Some people benefited from your lack of boundaries. Some people preferred the exhausted version of you. But your healing is not selfish. Your peace is not selfish. Your growth is not selfish. It is necessary because the world already has enough broken people pretending to be okay. What it needs more of are people emotionally strong enough to protect their peace. People wise enough to walk away from unnecessary conflict. People disciplined enough to remain calm in chaos. People brave enough to choose inner freedom over external approval. So from this moment forward, protect your peace at all costs. Protect it from toxic environments. Protect it from constant negativity. Protect it from overthinking. Protect it from people who only bring chaos into your life. Because once you lose your inner peace, everything suffers. Your health, your happiness, your purpose, your relationships, everything. But when you protect your peace, you protect your future. And maybe, for the first time in your life, you finally breathe freely again. Not because life became perfect, but because your soul became stronger than the noise surrounding it. And that is true power. If this message spoke to your soul, don't ignore it. Take action. Start choosing peace daily. Start protecting your energy intentionally. And most importantly, never feel guilty for walking away from anything that destroys your spirit, because your peace is priceless. And once you finally discover it, you will realize it was never worth sacrificing for temporary approval, toxic people, or meaningless noise. Protect your peace at all costs. Thank you for watching.